Okay. This is an interview with Michael Lesco. Home interview, 428 Lenox Road, Huntington Station, New York. It is February 28th, 2003, 9 a.m. The interviewers are Mike Russert and Wayne Clark. Could you tell me your full name, your date of birth, and place of birth, please?
Michael P. Lesco, May 15th, 1914, and Pennsylvania.
Okay. Where in Pennsylvania?
It's a hick town called Benscreek. It hadn't really no name. It's halfway between Altoona and Johnstown.
Okay. What was your pre-military service education?
Before there, I had a year in Penn State at the age of 16, and when I got to be my first year, I was 17, and I could no longer go there because we didn't have enough money. It was a coal mining town and all that, and it was only $100 then for a full year at Penn State. So I came to New York, and I've been here ever since.
Where were you, and what do you remember about your reaction to hearing about Pearl Harbor?
I don't remember where I was, but I remember the reaction was terrible. Not knowing what happened and all that.
Did you enlist or were you drafted?
That's a long story over there. When I heard that war was declared over there, I decided to sign up, and I went in and I tried to sign up over there. I was going to go in the Navy and all, and that. And when I went in there, they had examined me, and no, I failed over there on account of flat feet. So I says, okay. In that case, I was getting ready to get married, so I went on and get married in that, and was married about a couple of months. I got a notice from the Army to come in and get enlisted or something, and that, and they says over there, says, oh, they won't take me in there. So listed over there, they examined me and over there and accepted. I says, here, the flat feet is not good enough for the Navy, it's in the Army. So from there I went in the Army, in there, went North Carolina, in there, and my wife stayed in North Carolina with me for a while till we moved from there.
You did your basic training in North Carolina?
Yes, we did. It was Camp Davis, I think, was the name of it in that.
Did you go anywhere else for basic training outside of Camp Davis in North Carolina?
Camp Davis in North Carolina, and we went, I don't know, there was another place down at the water in North Carolina where, I forget where was it, You'll excuse me a little bit.
Oh, that's okay.
No, I got brain damage here, and when I'm all alone I can do everything fine and that, but when I have to think of it and that, it was there before we went overseas. Over there, we were down near I think it was another place in North Carolina, right down at the Carolina Beach, in there, and then taking shots at the sleeves that was going by, and everything, and that. So
after you had your basic training, what unit were you assigned to?
We were in 255th AAAC, that's anti-aircraft artillery in that.
Where were you assigned with your battery? In the United States, or did you go overseas?
We went overseas. Where the heck did we go first? When I can't think of it. Oh, yeah, I know. First, we went overseas. We stopped at the Fiji Islands, and then we kept moving up from them. From then, we went to the Philippines and so forth.
What was it like on the, did you actually go ashore on the islands?
Oh, yeah, we were stationed in the Philippines and all that, yeah.
Any problems with malaria or dengue fever or
Well,
any kind of tropical diseases?
in the Fiji Islands, it's known as the paradise of, and it really is. There's no wild animals, no tropical diseases and that. And then in the others, when we went into the Philippines and all, they were giving us anti-whatever you call them, pills and that for malaria and all that.
Adabrin.
I don't know what they were. I know they wouldn't give them to you. They say, open your mouth, you know, and then they would throw them in and that. And that.
Make sure you took them.
That's right. Yeah.
Where were you? You said you were injured, or your life was saved twice?
That's correct.
What happened?
Well, in the first one, we were in New Guinea, and I was a mess sergeant at the time over there. I always was in there, in that, and we were lined up at a PX, which was a tent over there. There was about 20 of us lined up there, and I was the last one. And one of our planes come back over there and tipped his wings. That meant that they'd got a Japanese plane, and oh, we all clapped and all that. And he went to turn around, and I saw that it was getting late over there. I said, I got to go back and help the cooks. You know, I had 4 cooks over there. And I turned, and I don't think I was 20, 30 yards from there when our plane come back, and he was getting to land and come down in, and right into the crowd what I had just left exploded in there. Went into all of them in there, exploded in there. And they didn't even save the pieces over there, in there. They took 50-gallon drums of gas and poured it over it, and they didn't even get the dog tags. And I got, when I was leaving, I still have a little piece of shrapnel in my back as I was leaving back over there. And the other one, I think I told you that, we were getting ready to go to Japan, and half of my outfit had left, and that, and we were supposed to go the next morning, and we were ready, and that's when the bomb was dropped. That was my second place where my life was saved.
How did you feel when you heard that the atomic bombs were dropped?
Oh, we were all cheering, all jumping all around, and that.
Did you spend a long time in the hospital after your injury?
No, it was just hobbling around. It was, they have a tent and that, and they have a doctor that was along, and also.
Did you get your Purple Heart for that?
They, then that I wrote in, I think I said in that letter that I wrote you over there, because when I got over here, had a diner at that time, and a guy that I was in the Army with, he had some kind of a, and he was getting money for it and so forth, and he asked me if I said, no, you know, I didn't need it at that time, and that, he says, well, why don't you send it? So I send into the Army about my injury and all that, and I got a letter from them that says, injury established, amount of injury not disclosed or something, denied, in other words. That's what they said.
So you stayed in the service until 1946?
From 42 to 46, that's right. It was from the end of 42 to the end of 46, and the same day all the time. It was December 31st in both years, and the funny part of it is that was my wife's birthday too.
Oh, really?
4 years apart.
So you spent your time as a mess sergeant for that anti-aircraft battery for the whole time?
That's correct.
Okay.
Now, did you have a permanent type mess hall, or did you
No
cook
mess
in
hall.
tents? Or
Oh no, yeah, out in the open and that. You have these, you know, the cooking thing that you put up like that, and the thing under it and all that. It was out in the open, and where everybody was in tents and all that.
who supplied you with the food? I mean, did you have fresh meat or canned
No,
meats? Or?
we had C or K ration most of the time, and we didn't have fresh meat in maybe 6 months in that. And once we got in, it came from Australia, pork chops, and there were fresh pork chops in it, and we had one for each man. That was the only fresh food that we know. And the funny part of it is that I hate fat of any kind, and I ate the fat and all, and just as anybody else did.
Did you serve up a lot of powdered eggs?
Oh, oh yes, oh yes. That's when powdered eggs first come in, I think, and and I think that's the first time that instant coffee also come in at that time.
Did you always have plenty of supplies on hand, or?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Did you use a lot of Spam?
Spam was our middle name. You know.
After you left military service, did you stay in contact with any of your people you were served with?
They used to be in contact with me at something in that.
Did you ever join any veterans organizations?
No, I was in touch with a lot of them and all that. And
So you don't belong to the VFW or the Legion?
no, I think I did at one time or something. I don't know what happened to that.
Did you use the GI Bill at all when you returned?
Yes, I did. In that, that was in purchasing a house. They required you that and that, and then I moved from that house in that to go out to Levittown and in that because I don't know, I had a daughter at that time and she was handicapped and was looking for a better place. And when I got the house in Levittown over there, I thought that the GI Bill would apply, but it didn't, and that, so I had to pay for the full thing from there.
Did you ever use the 5220 Club?
I don't even know what is that.
They gave you $20 for 52 weeks after the
It was
war.
like unemployment.
I think I did, and now that you mention it, I forgot about it completely. And then,
So you used what you learned in the military, you became a chef or a cook and opened a restaurant?
I was a cook all my life, and when I first came to New York, I told you I had left college and that, and I came into New York, and I knew somebody that was working in a restaurant in Times Square, one of the better restaurants in New York, in there, and I got a job in there as a cook's helper, and part of the time, and then in the afternoon, or they wait on tables, and that was at the pay of from 8 in the morning until 6 at night, 6 days a week, and it was $9.60. And in that same place over in there, Babe Ruth used to come in every Christmas with 100 orphans over there.
Wow.
I understand he was an orphan child
I think so, yes.
himself and that. And everyone used to, that restaurant went from 42nd Street right through to 43rd Street in there, and had about 100 people working in there, in that. And everybody was fighting to wait on him over there, because the average tip then was 10 cents, and he used to leave a quarter for everybody in that.
Okay, do you think your military service changed your life in any way?
I can't see. I doubt it. I doubt it. In that.
Okay. Now, you said you had some pictures to show us.
I got all kinds of pictures in here.
Did you get to see any USO shows or any entertainment over there?
Oh yes, in there. That we used to have people that visit. In fact, one of the stars in that show, and I have a picture of her in there. We used to show movies over there. Would put a bed sheet up over in there, and then they would wind that up and put it, and it would stop and that. And I forget what her name is. I gave some of the pictures away of that is. And here's when Social Security first come out, and I had that. That's when they had to put the name of the person that you were employed with in the back, and that is still on there. And that.
Let's see the front of that card. Can you hold that up?
What, this?
Yeah.
So that's one of the original Social Security cards.
That's right.
Huh? If you could hold it back. Okay, right there is good. Okay. All right, got it.
Okay, thank you.
See, well, I was just trying to remember. I forgot his name or something. Oh yeah, here it is. William Richter, and they had his. Isn't that strange that they, when in the security guard, they had to have your employer in there and where he lived and all that.
Okay.
Okay, maybe if you could show us some of the photographs in your album.
Huh?
Now, how old are you now? 89?
I'll be 89 in 2 or 3 months.
In May, you said, right?
May 15th, 1914. My parents said I was the cause of World War I. You want to go through them all yourself, or?
If you open the album, we can.
Oh, here's the one of them that I told you, the restaurant that I worked in, and that's the top of the building there.
Okay, we'll just need you to hold the album up so I can.
This is going to be.
This is where I was working as a waiter at the top sign, up on the top of the building and that.
These are pictures of North Carolina, Camp Davies, North Carolina, 1943.
Yeah.
And
So a lot of these my wife had in that, and we gave a lot of them away and something in there.
okay. Let me just get a few more of them. Those are all of you, I take it, right? Some of your buddies. Okay.
Now, is this you?
Yes.
These pictures over on the side.
Okay, I got them.
Oh, you took a lot of photographs.
Yeah, I used to take pictures
This
of
is
it.
Fort Fisher, North Carolina.
That's what I was trying to think of there.
Okay.
I think we'll go to when you went overseas. What's these? Here's someone he was on bivouac.
Okay.
I have a story about the bivouac over there. I told you, before we went overseas, I told you my wife also lived in the same time. She had a job and that. I used to come and stay with her on Saturday and Sunday and then go back in there. And one of them was at the Hotel Bame. With the picture of that Hotel Bame is in there. Let me tell the story first and then we'll see over there. And then when we went on bivouac, I told my wife, you know what that means? That means that we're going overseas over there tomorrow. And that was when she said that she wanted to have a baby. I said, well, none of us are coming back, you know. So she said, that's all right, I'll have something to remember you by. So it was a one-shot deal over there. And we did go overseas after that, and I never did see my son till he was 5 years old when I come back.
Oh my God.
And when I come back and walked in, they were in Brooklyn at the time. I walked in my uniform, and he looked over me, he ran back and hid behind my wife's back.
Oh, here's the hotel.
Hotel Bame. That's where we stayed in that. And we went on bivouac after that. And then, oh, there's another funny story after same thing over here. And when we went on bivouac over there, the first day out over there, we were in the woods, you know, showing how we're going to be overseas and that. And I had to come down alongside of the hotel over there to get gasoline and water up the tanks and, you know, those 5-gallon pails of water that you give to there. And while the guy that I had was filling it, I says, let me run upstairs in there, see how my wife was doing. It was just right at the top of the stairs. So I ran right up over there. It was just one flight up, and the door was always closed, but you could just hit it and it would open. So I walked in there and hit it and opened the door, and I walked in there, and there's a girl in bed in there. She pulled up the seat like this. She couldn't even scream. I said, don't worry, I'm in the Army. We were here yesterday over there. And my wife, what had happened, when we went on there, she went back into I forget the name of the town where she was staying and worked the first day and all that. And it was amazing because that time places to stay were so hard to find in there. But, yeah, she just stood there like that.
These are photographs from Fiji.
That's the Paradise Island. It really is. There's no tropical diseases there. Nah.
How long were you on Fiji?
I guess it must have been close to a year, I guess. And then from then, all the islands.
Now, did you have a camera with you the whole time?
Yeah, I had one of these. That's why some of the pictures that I took, it's illegal and all. And I send a lot of these home and that. And to send them home, you had to, when you wrote a letter and everything, you had to give it to them in there. But whoever was working in there, he knew me or something, and I was able to sneak some of the pictures in there. Some of them, there's an actress's name in there. And I don't know whether it's further back or something. Most of the pictures I gave away, but I know there's still one of her in here. I don't know. it is.
Oh, Olivia de Havilland.
Yeah, but that's where I gave it away. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, there is a picture of hers.
I think she's still alive, isn't she?
I don't know. That's one I gave away. I know. I'm almost sure I had another one of her. I know. I was just looking through this the other day, and unless it fell out of there.
Oh, here's Joey Brown, too.
Oh, yeah, I forgot all about that one. Yeah. Let's see, I got my curiosity up or something. I'm almost sure it's on this side or something. You see if it's on that side when
Yes, okay.
I put it over. And then. I just saw it the other day. I was amazed that I saw it.
Did you spend any time in Hawaii at all?
No, the only thing we got of... If it's not on here, it must have slipped out. It was a nice picture of her. No, it shouldn't be. I didn't realize there were that many pictures here.
Wow, you have a lot of photographs.
It must have fallen out. I know I just saw it in there.
Now, this is you?
Yeah, that's me.
Let me get that.
Yeah.
That in here. And where was that taken? Do you remember? Was that in Fiji?
It probably was. I don't know. Usually they're marked in that or something. Maybe it's on the back or something.
Well, don't take it out.
Yeah,
You don't
sure.
want to lose the photographs. Well, these are all in New Guinea.
Yeah.
All these others before this, maybe that was in New Guinea.
I was just wondering about that. I know that Olivia's
Watch out, that's
picture
not-
is still
that's
in
not
there.
bent, that picture.
And Hawaii, no. Before we were going overseas, and when we got to Hawaii, we stopped over there because there was a scare. What's the things underwater?
Oh, submarines.
There's a submarine scare over there, and we stayed for 2 days over there before we started going overseas in there.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your interview.
Okay, thank you.